new hot and techy Brezza, the city-bred SUV.
A little over 4 months since this venue hosted an iconic fixture, pivotal players from that outing are back in action. Pat Cummins, who led Australia to the World Cup title, Travis Head, who was player of the final, Shubman Gill on the other side, who had to contend with the heartbreak of defeat and now leads the side which calls the stadium home. Gujarat Titans against Sunrisers Hyderabad begins things on this Sunday with a double-header. Welcome to Maruti Suzuki Arena, presents ESPN Cricket Info Timeout. We're joined on Sunday by Tom Moody, Mitchell McClenaghan and Varun Aaron. Gentlemen, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Tom, it's got to be pleasant memories for people like Cummins and Head walking back to this ground where they so famously silenced not just the lakh plus who were there, but perhaps the entire country.
Yeah, it was an extraordinary World Cup, wasn't it? Because India played so well throughout the whole World Cup and it looked nearly inevitable that they were going to be lifting the trophy at the end. But Australia sort of timed their run perfectly, which, to be fair, historically they have with ICC events. They seem to find another level when it comes to those events and, stunned the Indian side and obviously all their fans. But you can guarantee Pat Cummins will have, look, the hairs on the back of his neck sticking up, as he walks back out, for the toss today. Because, World Cups are pretty unique. Australia have been lucky to win a few of them, but still, they're very unique, and those memories are, last for a lifetime.
Yeah, and exactly about a month after that World Cup final came another big day in Pat Cummins' life, where he became the first player to breach the 20 crore mark at an IPL auction, a record he held for about an hour and a half till Mitchell Starc surpassed him. But so early in the season, while his compatriot in Starc has not had the greatest of starts, Pat Cummins, compared to the rest of the Hyderabad bowling pack, is already leading this attack, Mitch.
Yeah, he is. He's led from the front, you're right. Comparatively to previous IPLs for Pat Cummins with the ball, he's going extremely well in terms of his economy rate. And I think what the advantage so far has been that he's developed some skills over the last couple of years to be able to be a bit more defensive with the way he bowls. His slower ball bouncer is one of the best in the game at the moment, and he's just bowling to shut batsmen down as opposed to targeting the stumps all the time. He's been a bit more defensive in his mindset. So that's been a part of his success so far.
Yeah, one of those things, the reason his slow ball bouncer is so good, and both these guys will appreciate this, is his genuine bouncer is a real good bouncer. It is. You talk to a lot of batters about facing Pat Cummins. Not only is he relentless around that off stump and finding the inside and outside edge off that length, but he's got a real shock bouncer that's got some serious pace on it, so it really gathers pace off the pitch. So when he's bowling that slower ball bouncer, it's suddenly a big change, and that's a huge advantage to him.
Yeah, and I feel Pat Cummins is one of those characters, if you give him responsibility, he takes his game a level up. I think him getting captaincy of SRH has also been one of those things which puts a little more sense of responsibility on him. And obviously, he's a world-class bowler. There's no two ways about that. And but I just think this little more responsibility on him has just helped him just take his T20 game in the IPL a level up.
And is that the counter when we talk about Cummins in terms of having the leadership role? There were enough voices outside saying, oh, he's never captained in T20s. But then again, he'd barely led Australia in many ODIs before coming to the ODI World Cup. Tends to lift his game, as Varun says.
Yeah, I don't think it makes any difference. You're either a leader or you're not a leader. And Pat Cummins is a born leader. Whether you like it or not, some people, it comes naturally, and to him it comes very naturally. And it's not forced with Pat Cummins either. He's very natural. He's very organic with his approach. He's very inclusive, which is very much the modern approach of leadership. And I think that's appreciated by the group. So one of the real challenges for a foreign captain in the IPL is that it being inclusive and making everyone feel as welcome as each other. So it's not just elevating your Indian stars and your overseas stars, but being very mindful of all of the players in the dressing room and treating them equally. So that young Indian player that's had a really good Ranji trophy and has found himself in a franchise, making him feel as important as a Heinrich Klassen, for instance. And Pat Cummins will do that really naturally.
And the positive thing as well is that player management stuff's really important. but the relationship with the coach is also very important. And Dan Vittori works with him at Cricket Australia in their national side. So there's already a relationship and a bond there, and that's part of the puzzle that you have to put together as a skipper. So that's an advantage for Pat as well.
And he continues to make all the right moves when it comes to playing at the Narendra Modi Stadium. He's won the toss, and Sunrisers have opted to bat in this day fixture against Gujarat Titans. Team news will be here for you shortly, but till then, let's focus on that other Australian who enjoyed such a wonderful night on the 19th of November. And while we do that, let's also apologize to our Indian viewers that here on this Sunday afternoon, we're reopening wounds from the 19th of November. But these are central figures to this game. Travis Head, Varun, what a start to his IPL season. They didn't play him in the first game, brought him in, and with instant impact.
I was a bit surprised they didn't start with him from the first game onwards. I think he's one of those players who can really run away with the game when he gets going. Really good batsman. I think it was him and Abhishek Sharma that set the tone at the start, and then Klassen just took them on after that. But today, I feel it's going to be a different situation today. I think knowing GT, they would have given a slightly slower wicket. I won't be surprised if they play Noor Ahmed today. I haven't seen the team yet, but I think Noor is going to be key, especially to combat guys like Klassen, guys like Head, because he just brings something really different, you know. And today is going to be a completely different game from the game the other night.
I was slightly disappointed with Travis Head that we haven't seen images of him wearing those glasses he famously wore after the final. I thought it'd be a great troll to turn back up to Gujarat and have those little speed dealer glasses on.
I think he's messed around with the Indian audiences enough with just the performances. But also that first knock from Head, Tom, a lot of us were wondering at the auction that as much as he's had the impact in the ODI World Cup, the T20 numbers necessarily don't stack up for Head, not done too well. But is this where you complement a franchise or the scouting, that you don't necessarily go just by the numbers, but when you see a player in form, you pick and play them?
Yeah, I don't think you scout a Travis Head. I think a Travis Head presents himself as a pretty attractive option. And we've also got to appreciate the reason that he probably hasn't caught the attention of people in the T20 world as much as some others is that he hasn't really played a lot outside of the Big Bash. And his international career has taken off over the last 2 to 3 years, but he hasn't really featured until recent times in T20 cricket. So Travis Head has grown as a cricketer quite enormously over the last 2 to 3 years, and naturally his game is going to flourish in the shorter format just purely with his approach, because he has this fearless approach which is pivotal to success in this format. First ball the other day, he's left out of the side first game. Second game, his very first ball, bang, 4 runs. That's Travis Head all over. He's uncomplicated. Watch ball, hit ball. Simple as that.
We can confirm that Sunrisers Hyderabad are sticking with the combination that took them to that IPL record total. Batted first last time. This is their batting first 11 this time around. Mayank Agarwal continues to keep his place, and they go unchanged with the same impact options as well. The only toss-up you'd think later in the game, Mitch, would be when they're bowling, whether you bring in Umran Malik or you consider the spin of Washington Sundar?
Oh, look, I hope they give Umran Malik another chance. I mean, he bowled 1 over and went for 15 the other night, and you can't read too much into that. He didn't bowl another one because Giant Yadev bowled really well at the end as well. So, I hope he gets another crack. Day games are always a little bit easier as a bowler. You get a little bit more out of the wicket if you change your pace. So it's a bit more bowler friendly during the day than it is at night.
And you'd be hoping Umran gets the crack. It's just the 1 over he got in that run fest.
I would really hope he gets a go, but I think they're going to go with Washi today because it's an afternoon game. They've chosen to bat first, which obviously tells us that the wicket might do something. We haven't seen the wicket yet, but guessing from what Gujarat generally do in these kind of games, they make sure that the wickets are a bit slower, especially against opponents like SRH, who, like, the batsmen love to go hard. Klassen likes to go hard. Abhishek Sharma, again, loves to go hard. And Travis Head we were talking about. So I think, although I would love Umran to get a go again, and the team to show him some kind of faith in him. But I think Washi might play today.
Just on that, if we can get the Sunrisers team up again, I think I hear what you're saying, and I quite like, and I'm sort of 50-50 split with that view. I think if Washington was playing, I think he would have been listed in their batting 11 because of purely his batting quality. So if they were thinking that way, he would be in that 11, and then they would have had the option after that, on their second innings. But yeah, it makes sense because there's a few left-handers also in this opposition side. Yeah. So, but I think what's closing the door on Washington Sunder's, opportunity this year so far, I think they feel confident that Markram can bowl a few off spinners as well, and he's more than capable of doing a good job there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've also got that trade of Shahbaz Ahmed, who fits in the slow left-armers category. Before we get the Gujarat team news, time to focus on that one Gujarat Titans player who was so key to Sunrisers Hyderabad's success, Rashid Khan. He's had a mixed bag, Mitch, when he has come up against his former side. This is how he goes against right-handers and left-handers. Usually with Rashid Khan, the numbers are excellent, regardless of whichever parameters you put. But how do you see Sunrisers approaching Rashid Khan's bowling, given the kind of batting intent they came with last time around?
Yeah, well, Abhishek took him down last time, didn't he? I think there's a clear message from what we saw the other day with Chennai taking him down. He went 2 overs for 49, and we spoke pre-game about that's the approach you've got to take to Rashid Khan. Don't just try and play him out and not take any wickets because you'll take 2 for 15. What you need to do is say, yep, we're okay to give Rashid a couple of wickets, but we're going to go after him. We're going to try to take him for 30, try to take him for 40. And I think that's the approach we'll see from Sunrisers today. And, yep, okay, they might lose a couple of wickets, but there's a couple of good matchups there. You've got Klassen and you've got Abhishek as well, who are very good players to spin and had good success against Rashid in the past.
It's a really interesting point. Last year's the first year we've had this impact sub in play, and I think historically when you've got the likes of Rashid Khan and Sunil Narayan, these mystery spinners, generally the team chat, and I'm sure you guys have been in team meetings, well, let's be happy to deny him wickets, but if we can get one a ball off him and get a return of, say, anything between 25 and 30, no wickets, we've had a win. We can tick that box because we can target bowler B and C and just bank that. Don't let him damage our top order. But now with the impact sub, people feel there's a little bit more insurance in their depth in their batting that they can take on those type of high-quality mystery spinners, or it may be a fast bowler, because they've got that sort of depth in their batting and they can trust that.
True, but the other thing is Rashid Khan has just come back after back surgery. So we don't know exactly how he's functioning body-wise. Tom's point is great because now they have that cushion of an extra batsman to take him on. They can be like, okay, you're going to take on Rashid Khan today. But, they can even take on Bumrah, but nobody's able to. Rashid Khan is of the same class, and I just hope he gets into his rhythm as the matches progress, because coming out of a back surgery and straight into a competition like IPL can be tough.
From the Titans' perspective, if you're looking at placing Rashid's overs against a batting lineup which just got 270 and has a lot of informed batters in there, how would you position Rashid?
It's a really tricky one. It's a bit like you mentioned Bumrah as another example. When you have these high quality bowlers, you nearly wish you had 12 overs of that high quality, but at the end of the day, you've only got 4. So my philosophy around the likes of bowlers of this ilk is you position them where they can have the biggest impact, not just line them up against one specific player. So I think it'd be a mistake if they held Rashid back just for Klassen, for example, because you might find he could have a double wicket over at a different phase of the game, which shifts the game significantly. Yeah. So you deny him of that opportunity of really making an impact by, holding him back. So to me, you always look at who's bowling the next over is who's the one that's most likely to have an impact to take a wicket, because at the end of the day, T20, when you're out there for 120 balls, it's about taking wickets. in this modern game. It's not so much about denying runs. The denial of runs will come by taking wickets.
Yeah, and I guess that's now teams are looking at the Sunrisers and they're identifying Heinrich Klassen as their key batsman in the middle order there. And we saw the other night Mumbai made that mistake in terms of trying to hold a lot of Bumrah's overs back for Heinrich Klassen. And yep, Bumrah bowled well, but he still went for 9 and over against Heinrich Klassen. And you're right, you want to be able to put Heinrich Klassen under pressure because you've used Rashid at a different point to go bang, bang, nice and quickly. So then he's under more pressure, even if it's just for 1 over against
Scoreboard
Rashid
pressure.
later. Yep.
Scoreboard pressure.
Let's confirm the Gujarat 11. There are some changes, and Varun, you'd be wishing if this was a predictor and you would have got some points early in the show.
Oh, you're a
because
genius.
Noor Ahmed is already in there. You've been in the Titans camp. You know
I
how
reckon
they
you've
think.
had the phone, haven't you?
No.
You've had the phone in the camp this
I just
morning.
know how they function, because whenever they see any team with like big hitters, they play on this strip which is a bit slower, and they bring on Noor. Noor is the perfect matchup for Klassen. He bowls really fast, googly, and Klassen doesn't like anything way outside the off stump. Great matchup. I'm just going to start off our guessing game saying Noor is getting Klassen out today.
You're just going to confirm, just going to bring that lineup up once again. That there's another change. Darshan Nalkande also features.
Yeah.
So they do still have Mohit and Umesh. This is Gujarat's bowling 11, which means Spencer Johnson is the one who misses out. So Umesh and Mohit, along with Omar Zai, the only seamers in their match.
Yeah.
Nalkande is a seamer though.
Umesh, Mohit, Nalkande, and
yeah.
Omar Zai. How do you see that?
Yeah, I think it's a clear indication, as Varun said, that the wicket's going to be slower. So they're going to have to bank on the spinners doing a good job in the middle there. But you've got some very good players of spin. So it's a real mano a mano tonight or this afternoon of good players of spin against good spin bowlers. It's going to be an interesting battle.
Yep. And now let's focus on that main gun in the Sunrisers batting lineup, Heinrich Klassen. Needless to say, the kind of touch he's been in, the kind of six-hitter he's become. In our preview to the game, I asked Varun and Mitch how you would try to bowl to a batter in this kind of touch. What are your thoughts on that?
I'd like to hear what they have to say before. Yeah, no. Look, at the end of the day, Heinrich Klassen, he's very, very strong from straight down the ground, and his arc is very much to square leg. And it goes to square leg, even behind square, if you try to bowl the short ball. Like he hit Bumrah bounced him, which is the right delivery, but he was good enough to be able to get inside it and hit it for 6. So his arc is very much down that line through the leg side. So my idea would be to bowl wide and changing pace wide of off stump. I'd also suggest to the attack, particularly the right-arm bowlers, to bowl round the wicket and increase that angle away from the leg side with the same philosophy of changing the pace, getting it wide Yorkers, slower balls on a length wide of off-stump, and get him to try to muscle the ball through the offside with the protection given there. And then you can bring your square leg side field up into the circle.
So this is why we like Tom, because even when he's not here, he watches our reviews. He's always keeping tabs on what we're saying on the show. So, or does that all come from your own brain there, Tom?
Well, I have got a brain.
I know. No, you bang on. And then probably just to touch on that is...
Thanks for that.
Oh, that's what we're here for, eh? Yeah. Bit of banter. I guess just to touch on that as well, what a lot of teams haven't done to Klassen early is just go fourth, fifth stump on a good length, trying to bring in the outside edge because his feet don't move early. He's not a big man to get forward. Goes with the hands early. So I think you've got to really target trying to get him out, and I believe you can nick him out early in his innings, first couple of balls. But then also you've got to also identify how straight he hits at the end. He hits the sight screen. So you've got to start considering, do I have an extra cover, a mid-off, a straight man, a mid-on and a mid-wicket, and still bowl that wider line, but know that anything he's going to drag it straighter because he might step across.
Yeah, and we'll just confirm that through, if you look at the wagon wheel of Heinrich Klassen and where he hits his sixes this year, and that's already a lot of sixes in the calendar year. Varun, when you see that, it just adds to the bowling plans you guys are considering?
Yeah, Also, sometimes like wagon wheels like these don't tell a full story. It's hard to really hit sixes over point all the time. It's one of the, I mean, you unless you're like Maxi or you're reverse sweeping somebody, you're not going to really hit sixes there. But that does give us a slight indication of what he does. See, look, I feel like that if there was a bowling unit tailor-made to stop Klassen, it is the Gujarat Titans bowling unit. Only because one, they have a gun bowler in Rashid Khan. Two, they've played Noor Ahmed today, very suited to stopping Henrik Klassen. And also, three, Mohit Sharma, he bowls those wide Yorkers really well. He bowls a good wide slow ball. And also, he bowls that perfect length, which Klassen does not like, which is, if you see his pitch map, he strikes anything above 180, 200, anything short. If it's in the slot, again, 200 plus. But if you bowl that 6-7 meter mark length, which he doesn't really set up for, and which Mohit bowls perfectly, it's going to be game on today.
Right then. We are also, Heinrich Klassen's early season form also means that he is featuring quite high on Cricinfo's impact ratings. This is not the impact zone, we'll come to that in a bit. But ESPN Cricinfo's impact ratings based on ESPN Cricinfo's smart stats. Klassen on top of the batting leaderboard comes as little surprise. You see Riyan Parag feature there, Rachin Ravindra, who's in action later tonight, Virat Kohli and Abhishek Sharma closing out the top five. That broadly sums the batters correctly from what we've seen so far?
Yeah, it does. I mean, we didn't get to see Andre Russell the other night, and doesn't have the advantage of that second game, so he'd probably slot, when he plays again, will slot into that top five, the way he's been striking it. But Klassen's been, we predicted at the start of the tournament that he was going to be right up there, and those stats show.
Yeah, Russell does feature right at the top of the overall MVP rating, but let's have a look at the bowlers now. And it is Harshit Rana who's on top, having had two good outings for the Knight Riders. Harpreet Brar's economy has helped him get in a lot of rating points. Mustafizur Rahman, Kagiso Rabada, and Andre Russell completing the bowling. Satisfied with what our impact ratings have on the bowlers so far?
100%. I mean, I would definitely love to see Bumrah's name on there. He had a really gun game for the first time out. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be changing. People are going to move up and down, back and forth throughout the tournament. It's early doors, but it's pretty accurate.
Yeah, and finally the overall MVP tally as far as the impact ratings go, and that is where Andre Russell slots up at the top. He's only had one batting innings, but contributed with ball both times around for Kolkata Knight Riders. It's an all KKR top three, in fact, Tom, Russell, Rana, Narain. High impact performances closed out by Klassen and Parag.
Well, it just shows you the value of the all-rounder. You know, we've talked about how the impact sub is potentially affecting the all-rounder, but the world-class all-rounders are always going to stand above and impact games, both with bat and ball. And Russell, which we touched on the other day, looks fitter, looks lighter, so therefore, you know, he looks at this stage injury-free, and touch wood it stays that way, because we all want Russell firing on all cylinders, because he is box office when he's up and running. Therefore, for KKR, it's a real win that he's in the physical state that he's in, and also the form that he's in.
All right, that is the impact ratings from ESPN Cricinfo done. Now it's time for the games we play here on Timeout. Let's head into the impact zone. With okay, we are going to go into the impact zone. The rules are fairly known by now. Each expert picks three players, a batter, a bowler, and a wild card. Impact points for each player are counted as per ESPN Cricinfo Smart Stats. And the expert with the highest points tally for each match gets 3 points added to their tally. This is how the season leaderboard stands, and I will do some explaining here. The impact picks that you do are the first column you see, but we play a lot of games here, and all of those are accounted for. Predictor is when you make those outrageous picks, and last night we had the rare occurrence of 2 outrageous picks landing, so that Mitch brought you 5 points for calling Quinton de Kock 6 on Rabada, and Tom got his 5, the second time he's landed an outrageous one with KL Rahul's call. Varun, early days, 2 games in, but you managed to win the impact draft on day 1. Miscellaneous covers all the other quizzes we may play with you, the Who Am I's, the Fact or Fictions. There's one quiz coming up soon, right now. And the last bit is why, after this exercise, I will never again criticize the WTC points table because these things, as we figured out on the back end, get complicated. Not all of you appear on all the shows, so the points are weighted by the number of appearances you've made. Tom Moody, a runaway leader so far.
I don't want to get confident early. It's a very early in the tournament. It's like being in the point you made about some of those bowlers, in that top 5, and that's going to chop and change. I'm sure that leaderboard's going to chop and change over the next few weeks.
Mitch will be hoping.
Shocked that I'm last.
I'll inform you that outrageous prediction has helped up the points because you've come up to 1.55, was it?
Right, yeah.
It was in the low ones before that.
Thanks,
So,
mate. Thanks for reminding me of that.
No,
That's exactly what I
I'm just
wanted to
telling
know.
you, keep landing some more
Okay,
outrageous
yeah,
ones,
okay,
and
sweet.
it could be there. What you do get, Mitch, is the first pick on today's draft. So, we will run up the 11s for you again, just to ease your picks.
Yep.
But you go first. What's your pick?
I'm going to go with Heinrich Klassen. He's at the top of the leaderboard for a reason. So, fingers crossed he can negate Rashid Khan today.
So we're going batters first, is that correct?
Yeah, batters.
Correct.
Okay.
Batters first. We go to Varun, who finished second. So,
I'll go with Shubman Gill today.
you go with Gill. All right, Tom.
I'm going to go with Abhishek Sharma.
Abhishek Sharma, who had taken down Rashid Khan famously in 2022. So we now go
Go
to
the reverse.
Tom for the bowler.
I'll go Rashid Khan.
Okay, Rashid, you're taking care of the matchup. Varun, your turn next.
Noor Ahmed.
Noor Ahmed.
Oh.
You've already called him right once, saying
Okay.
he'll play. Let's see how many points he brings for you, Mitch.
I'm going to go Pat Cummins.
Pat Cummins,
And then
back
you, and then we
at
come
the
back
ground
this way.
he loves, and Varun gets the wild card pick.
Wildcard pick. I'm gonna go with. Okay, I'm just gonna take a huge punt. Washington Sundar.
Whoa!
Washington Sundar.
Oh, okay, I like that.
Jeez.
Sort of-
So I should get extra points if he
No,
plays and does
no.
well. Yeah,
There's no
100%.
extra points, mate.
It's a big punt.
Only the points.
This is not the outrageous pick now. is it?
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay.
I mean-
Okay, actually, I'll say that for the outrageous pick.
Yeah, you get your
hold on,
chance.
mate.
I forgot about that.
too
So-
late.
Pick the player.
Okay, cool. No worries. Okay, fine. Cool.
Gentlemen.
I'll stick with it.
Okay. I'm going to go with Travis Head.
Travis Head.
I'm going to go with Mohit Sharma.
Good pick. Yeah, I was going actually going.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
but you wanted
So,
to be brave,
No,
mate.
it's fine. I'll
Just
be
back
brave.
yourself in.
I'm backing myself.
just confirming, Mitchell McClenaghan has gone with Klassen, Cummins, and Travis Head. Varun Aaron has Shubman Gill, Noor Ahmed, and Washington Sundar. Let's see how that plays out. And Tom Moody goes with Abhishek Sharma, Rashid Khan, and Mohit Sharma. All the best, gents. Got a game right here for you now. This is a quiz we're bringing up where we're going to bring up Gujarat Titans' first ever playing 11 in the IPL. Now, this time, the only thing we're changing is there's a one question for all of you. Not all the questions are for everyone. So, we'll throw your hints. Tom, the first question is coming your way. This is the first ever lineup GT went with in the IPL. It was a game against Lucknow Super Giants back in 2022. That first blank you see, who do you think it is? The clue for you, the first clue I'll give is that it's a wicketkeeper.
Yeah, it's Saha.
The second clue is that it's not an Indian.
But no, how do we get to
Oh,
this now? I made a mistake.
Wade.
Matthew Wade.
Oh, bro.
No, so that's only
What?
Matthew Wade.
Oh,
I'll give
so
him,
you just get to
he's
guess
the-
until you get it
I'll
right.
give him
He's the
only half a
adjudicator.
mark.
Don't be that
Yeah.
sore loser. Just,
That's the only one I know, so I don't know the other
No,
one,
the second one's coming your way,
which I don't want.
which is the second
I wanted
blank.
the first one.
No, you
When
have
you
a
got it
clue.
wrong.
Mitch, I'm trying to offer you points.
hang on
The
a
clue
sec.
is coming
Let's
you.
just
Okay.
let's put his toys back in the cot. There you go. The toys are back in the cot
They
now.
are back
There you
in the
go.
Now,
Okay.
why the second one comes your way is that when you see that card, it is obviously a bowler, and the
Yep.
clue for you is that it's someone you would have spent a lot of time with. He comes from your part of the world.
Oh, Lockie Ferguson.
Well done. That's a point to you. See?
Got to
Do you
even
feel
play
better
there.
now?
I do feel
You
better
can put
now.
the
There, you
balls
can put the
back
balls
now.
back in the
There
desk.
you go.
Well
Yeah,
done.
that's
It's
good.
Sunday.
That's
We're
good.
being generous with points.
Jeez.
Got
Varun
two
Aaron,
young kids. He's
any-
just picking up their behaviour. That's all.
Exactly. Exactly.
But congratulations. That's
Thank
a
you.
full point to you. Varun
So he
Aaron.
gets half a point for two guesses. Cool. Just clarifying that.
All right. You're way ahead, Tom.
Just let it go.
Varun Aaron, any punt on who that last name on that card is?
You already said it.
I
Varun
already
Aaron.
said.
You said Varun Aaron. So.
Well done. The last name is indeed Varun Aaron, who featured in Gujarat Titans' first ever game in the IPL. Well done.
Thank you.
There were links to all of you.
Serious pace.
So,
Serious pace.
so yeah, that just about does it. We will add the points and see how much of a difference that makes to the leaderboard. Before we get done, it's safe, bold, outrageous time. Now, I know we've been giving you an outrageous pick outright, but you also have another option. There are 3 categories: safe, bold, and outrageous. If you make a safe punt and you get it right, you get 1 point. If a bold punt lands correctly, you get 3. And the outrageous, as you already have last night, lands you 5 points. So you decide which way you want to go. And let's start the predictions with you, Varun.
Safe first.
No. You just make
One
one.
of the
It's
three.
your call whether you want to go for
Outrageous. I'll go outrageous.
which you already have.
Yeah.
Points on
I'm
outrageous,
saying Noor gets a Klassen out.
Noor to get Klassen. That's outrageous enough. Okay. Mitch?
I'm going to say Rashid goes for more than 42.
And we classify that as outrageous.
No, I think
Or
it's
is it more-
45 is
Well,
the,
hold on,
the
it's Rashid
benchmark.
Khan, mate. Look at his career.
He's already
economy.
gone for 40 plus. So
Just one
You went
time,
for
it's one
49 the
time.
last game.
exactly, yeah. So
Oh,
That's not outrageous, that's bold.
I can
that's
call that
bold,
bold.
yeah. That's bold, yeah.
Or you lift it above 45 and we make it
The
up.
majority is against you, so you got to go like 4-5 runs more.
Within 40 to 44, I'm giving
I'm
you
going to
bold.
say Shubman Gill gets out within 10 balls. Just
that's
your trick
outrageous.
yesterday, because that's outrageous.
Is it?
I mean, at this venue, if it's not a World Cup final, he's generally done well. Top.
I'm going to say Travis Head gets out for less than 10 balls.
You're just
and
saying
we
that
will
because that's
bracket
my player.
that as outrageous as well. So, okay, 3 outrageous picks done. Well done. And that does it from us for now, gentlemen. Thank you for your company. Those points will be added. We'll see how it goes. And be sure to download the ESPN Cricket 4 mobile app if you haven't already. The game is just about to get underway. You can track everything that's going on in this game through a ball-by-ball commentary, and the rest of the IPL is well covered on the site as well. That's all from us for now. Do join us at halftime on Maruti Suzuki Arena. Presents ESPN Cricket 4 Timeout.
All new hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.